Hi everyone, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Thomas Hammett. I am the Vice President of the European Historic Houses Next Generation Board, and I'm also their Education Officer. So this is a quarterly webinar series that we do on different kind of events that are happening in historic houses. We're delighted this is our final webinar of 2025, and so this is music events in historic houses. And we've got three fantastic speakers. First will be Bianca Traxler from Le Dimore del Quartetto, and then Egita Karlsone from Rumene Manor, and then finally Stéphane Lombardi from Aux Losanges. So I will hand over to Bianca.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Thomas. Thank you to European Historic Houses for inviting us to speak today. So I'm Bianca Traxler. I am the director of Le Dimore del Quartetto, and I will share my screen to present our European project, Merita. Let me share it full screen. Do you see it? Everything is good? Yeah, okay, perfect. So, I'm Bianca from Le Dimore del Quartetto. We are a creative cultural enterprise. We were born almost 10 years ago with the goal of enhancing chamber music and supporting chamber music groups, as well as the European cultural heritage in a circular economy. So we organize musicians' residencies in historic houses, and in our formula, we do short residencies in exchange for a concert. And this was the base activity, but on top of that, we have developed many projects, activities, from festivals to masterclasses to European projects to support our mission, our double mission. In this double mission, we of course have two main group of central stakeholders. On one side, we have a network of 300 historic houses, a bit more now, but more than 300 historic houses in 18 countries. And on the other side, we have the widest group of chamber music groups, so string quartets and piano trios. In reality, with our projects, we reach around 130 to 150 young professional quartets and trios. And all of our activities is based on collaborations. So we have more than 100 collaborations that allow us to develop all of our projects. And this is why today I'm here to present our European project Merita, that we do in collaboration with European Historic Houses and with 19 partners in 16 countries. So this is the panorama, the overview of all of the partners of the project, but these are the platform members, because Merita is actually a platform. And this platform is born to support, on one side, the string quartets and trios to develop their own original projects. And they do so by playing around Europe and also even further away than Europe, and bringing their original projects a little bit everywhere, in even places that are not usually meant to receive these types of concerts, because these original projects all have specific topics they're focused on. So this project was born in 2021, even if it started in 2022. And it's a European project that won the Creative Europe Call, the European Platforms Call. And the first edition lasted until 2025. And so now we are starting with the second edition. European Historic Houses was part of both editions. And Merita is, on one side, a digital platform. So it has a physical space online through which the musicians follow their online trainings to develop their original projects, but also through which the European houses that are part of the project have their own digital space to present themselves. And then Merita is also a network that allows these musicians to do the trainings in historic houses and then to perform in at least 3 countries that are not their base country. So the different goals of the project are, on one side, enhancing the circulation and mobility of the chamber music groups. Then we also have, of course, fostering training and capacity building for them so that they are empowered in their professionalization process. Then we have the innovation of chamber music industry, and I would say also the connection between different sectors, and promoting a sustainable business model that allows all of these different stakeholders to interact in a very modern way and different way. And so the main activities that happen in this European project are, of course, concerts, training, showcases, artistic residencies, and networking events. Just a couple of numbers to show you what the project is like. We have from 2022 to 2025, these were the first number on the left. We were 17 partners. On this new edition will be 19 partners, plus 3 partners that will add from year to year. We have 56 ensembles that will participate to the project. In total, we have 35 historic houses and cultural sites that will be included in this new edition. I mean, at least 192 concerts are planned for these next 4 years of projects. I say at least because, of course, every opportunity that we have to create more concerts and chances for the musicians to perform are welcome. And so we do our best to make it happen. What does it mean for historic house to be part of the project Merita Cubes? It means joining an international European network. So being part of this project means being in interaction with the most important concert societies in Europe. It means being in collaboration with all the main stakeholders I was showing earlier in the list. And it means to be part of this incredible network of project creation, original project creation. So the historic houses that are part of the project will be hosting on-site residencies. So the idea is that you will receive at least one quartet or trio that will be developing the different projects with the trainers. So at least one trainer will be there with the group and support them in the development of this project. The idea is that every residencies end up with restitution concerts that you will be able to organize the way you prefer. And the idea is to give them the opportunity to try out this first experience of original project demonstration. And then they will be able, after this residency, to perform in at least 3 other countries. Of course, as a house of the network, you will have a dedicated page on the digital platform, and you will have access to all of these innovative tools that will be included in the platform. We have, for example, a CO2 calculator that we're developing. We already have a part of the CO2 calculator, but it will be developed even further in this new section of the project, this new season, let's say. So to give you an idea of the period in which we will organize this activity, the houses will be hosting the artistic residencies from December 2026 to November 2027. It means that at any time in this period, the residency could happen. The artistic residency will only last 5 days. And in this period, the musicians have the opportunity to put in practice what they have been learning in their online training that was previous to the experience in the house, and with the support of a trainer, of course. The residency will end with a test concert, part of this training program, and will allow the musician to put in practice, as I was mentioning earlier, their project and to showcase what they have been working on. Of course, within this Merita Cube project, and I'm talking about Merita Cube because it's a new edition, but it's always the Merita platform, the European historic houses will receive 2,000 euros for the development of this week of residency to cover the cost related to the organization. There are specific requirements, of course, to be part of the project. The selection will be made then by European historic houses, but to apply, we ask to have 4 beds for the musicians and a separate room for the trainer. Let's say the spaces can be divided in different ways, but at least 3 separate rooms and bathroom. The idea is to have spaces for rehearsals, the more the merrier, meaning, of course, the musician needs multiple space to rehearse also separately, and access to a kitchen or meals, depending on the type of house. And of course, houses with a grand piano will be given priority in the selection process because we have many trios that are part of the project now. Of course, you have to host a concert at the end of the residency, and there are some aspects that are more technical, like video recording, etc. But these are things that can be, let's say, further. We can focus on that in a later stage. Regarding the experience, what it's like, what it means to host the training is there to support the ensemble in developing their original projects. So overall recap, it means 5 days of residencies of the quartet or trio plus the trainer, and then being able to follow them in the creation of this final project. This was the quickest I can make the presentation go, but if you have any questions, these are some feedback that we received from the first round. And of course, if you want to apply, there is a link that we will be sending to you after the presentation, and you will be able to contact European Historic Houses for participating eventually to the project. Have been quick enough?
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Bianca.
Fantastic.
Perfect. So we'll have a Q&A session after the three speakers. And if you want to put a question into the chat, I'm very happy to ask it, or you can raise your hand when we get to that portion of the webinar. But for now, we will move on to Alexis Karlsone from Rumene Manor. Alexis, over to you.
Wonderful.
Right. I'm going to thank you, everyone. Yes, I'm Alexis, and I am in my wife's place representing Rumene Manor. Let me just get this up here. Sorry. And a little bit about Rumene Manor, just to give it a little bit of background of what we're talking about, and getting a feeling for the space where we also have concerts. So Rumene Manor is a Baltic German manor house, about out in the Latvian countryside, about 90 minutes from the kilometer. So relatively isolated, which also impacts our ability to have concerts and whatnot. It's a bit of a trip out there, but not too much. And here we have see a little bit of a feeling for the property. The entire property the estate is 90 hectares with a private lake. The main manor house. Here we see a picture golf course, and we see on the corner here what is the newest addition, which we call the Art and Event Barn. And that was renovated just a couple of years ago, and it's the newest addition to Rumene Manor, but it was also historically the newest addition to the estate. It was actually built in the late 1920s, 1930s, and it was actually a dairy barn. And it was actually a dairy all the way up through Latvian re-independence in 1991. And that has we have now renovated it with one of Latvia's most renowned architects into additional rooms and a large event space, 3,000 square meters. And so for seating concert style, we've had concerts up to almost 300 guests. Here we have a view of this space when we actually purchased the manor house. This is where all the cows would be lined up to be milked, but now they are now we can enjoy enjoy the concerts. And one of the fortuitous aspects of the renovation is that the acoustics in this room are excellent. We actually did not have an acoustical designer, but one of the first events was when we opened the space was having a choir. And when they rehearsed, they complimented us on the acoustics and had assumed that we had a specialist design it. So we were very fortuitous there. This was one of the opening concerts with a well-known Latvian choir, Maska, and a cello concert. This is the adjacent building. This is the main manor house, which dates back to 1887. The estate itself dates back to really the 1500s and earlier, but this manor house to 1887. And we also host concerts within the main manor house, but those are smaller, up to 50 persons, and for a more intimate feel. And here we have an example of how that looks, our smaller concerts. And this is some pictures from our masquerade balls. In terms of the practical side, I guess I will type out here. In terms of the practical side, I'll emphasize that organizing public concerts is not really part of our primary operations. Certainly because this manor house is particularly a private event space. We used to operate as a hotel at certain times, but we have now found that large private events are the main driver of our operations. That obviously always accompanies music, and with private events, this is a high-end space, so we actually get a lot of, at least locally, regionally well-known musicians performing. But we do also ourselves organize regularly concerts, and we do that for two different purposes. We do it for marketing purposes in order to get some wider publicity and to attract potential clients to the manor house. But we also do it in order to provide broader, more local access to the estate and the manor house, because really the regular access to the manor house is rather exclusive and for private events. So we try to find a way that both locals in the area but also in wider Latvia who might not have the ability to join a private event there have the ability to come and enjoy the estate and enjoy something maybe that's a little bit more unusual, or some culture that you wouldn't normally get in this area of the countryside. So we try to do at least one of these types of concerts per year. In terms of organization, we select the artists themselves, and I was very interested by Bianca's previous presentation. Up to now, we've only worked with local Latvian artists, and Latvia being a small country and in our position, we're lucky that we're able to get some actually quite some of the leading Latvian artists, whether choirs, singers, piano players, opera singers, but we identify them. But then obviously the rest we do with outsourcing and contracting from the sound technicians, and then most importantly we do the sales through OTC channels, so through ticket sale. Through ticket sellers, because that allows us to not have to deal with payment processing, so that reduces that aspect for us, and also gets us wider publicity through their existing sales channels. So that's been very successful for us when we were running these through OTC ticket sellers, and that costs us about 2.5 3% of ticket sales. We, of course, do also offer packages for our concerts. We sell the concert tickets separately, and that's really for the wider public. But we then also sell packages, obviously, for overnight stays and together with the concert. Our challenge right now is we can have concerts with 300 people, but we only have 28, albeit very large rooms. We only have 28 rooms on the estate. And for the guests then staying on the estate, we combine it with, we work with various catering partners, because we don't do catering ourselves. Then we work with various well-known chefs in the area, and then combine it usually with concert, fine dining experience, and then tours of the manor house. And that's so that's our exposure to here in Latvia. We're really, I would say we have limited access to for support mechanisms for getting artists to events like this. So we really have to figure out how to do this without state support, grants, and whatnot. So we're really focused on being able to put together packages and offset the costs for ticket sales. Our concerts, honestly, and why we do this for marketing, our concerts, the concerts itself, best case scenario, they break even without grants, after covering technicians and the artists and the artists' fees, because we're also trying to keep the price at a price point where locals who wouldn't normally have access would have access to the tickets. Yeah, and thank you very much. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the manor house or how it is. And I'd love to hear what others are doing in terms of being able to, from a financial aspect, being able to put together concert packages.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alexis. I already have questions around packages. Finally, we'll come to Stéphane Lombardi from Aux Losanges. Just to say thank you for those who have sent in questions. And if anybody wants to send questions, do send it to me, or put up your hand when we get to that bit. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Very exciting to be there and present you our project. So it's like in the same way as Alexis' project, but you have to divide it all KPI by 10. So it's a really a small project in compared to Alexis, but I hope it will be great also for you. So thank you very much for the presentation. So my name is Stéphane Lombardi. I'm the founder of the project Aux Losanges. And Aux Losanges is much more than a project. It's also showing our passion for art and music. But let's start with the situation. So we are in Switzerland, in the canton Graubünden, and we are located in a small village in the mountain calling Tschirchen. That is about 1,300 meters above sea. So it's also, you can also do skiing. So in this area during the winter. The house was built in 1869, and that was used to be a small guest house and restaurant. And in 2015, we decided to buy it and to renovate it completely during 2 years, and we opened it in 2017. Exactly, you can exactly stop. Then here we renovated with Caruso St. John architect from London. They are based in London. They are also a very famous architect, and they are doing some work like the renovation of the Tate Museum, but also other building around the world. And they decided to do that with us. That was a very honor for us because it's a small project, but we are very happy to do that. As you see in the center picture, you have our concert room, but it's also our dining room. So we transform the dining room to the concert room when we have a concert. On the side, you can see also the upper floor of the house. So you have bedrooms, bathroom. We tried also to keep it the old element of the house. But sometimes it was not possible to keep everything. So mainly in the basement with the concert room, we had to make a bigger transformation. Then we have the first. Yes, exactly. We founded an association in 2019 for the organization of all concert and exhibition. As we are doing that by during our free time, so it's more a hobby for us. But since now many years we are doing this organization of events, so we are doing 6 concerts per year, and it's a very small concert room with 35 seats. We are also organize an artist in residence once a year. That's during 2 weeks, and we are doing that with Unique Records, a jazz label. The artists can come during 2 weeks in our house, and will produce an album that we will produce in cooperation with the Unit Records. We are also doing one exhibition inside and outside the house. And that is once a year. Then we have also to give you some information, maybe it can be also interesting. What we are paying for the concert is around 600 per artist for a jazz concert, and 2,200 francs. Francs and euro is quite the same for a classic concert. We because we don't have enough seats to be rentable, we need to have external sponsor, and we get some money from public funds or patrons, but also foundations. We are mainly our guests, they are coming from Chur, but also that is the nearest city, but also Zurich. So as it is also our own house, the people, they are also, the guests, they are also allowed to go in our entire house before the concert or during the exhibition. So they are coming in our bedrooms, they are coming in a bathroom. So for sure for that we have to protect our floors. And we decided that all guests have to remove their shoes or use a protective cover that we have also give it before to our guests. And also what we are also organized is after each concert, we have an aperitif first, where it has some exchange between musicians and also the guests. And after the aperitif, we give a big dinner with all together. As you can see, the two pictures below, that are the same room, so it's needs some logistic behind to transform the concert room to the dining room. but with the time we are efficient, and we do that in a few minutes. So yes, that is a little bit the project that I present you. Maybe you have also more questions, but thank you for your time.
Brilliant. Thank you, Stéphane. Those are three really, really interesting presentations. Keep sending in your questions, but I have a couple of the off the top of my head. In terms of for Merita and for Le Dimore del Quartetto, in terms of do you get lots of applications and then have to narrow them down, or is it that a lot of the applications already coming in are people that you want to work with, Bianca?
So, do you mean application in terms of historic houses that want to be part of the network? With Le Dimore del Quartetto, we have a network that is always growing because the idea is that we organize residencies all year long. We organize 480 days of residencies per year. At least this was 2024 data. I don't know yet the 2025. We still have to calculate it, but it's around 200 concerts per year. So it's a huge activity, and the idea is that the more the network is strong, the stronger the network, the wider the network, the more opportunities we have to also create collaboration between historic houses, because the idea is that if we have multiple historic houses in the same area that are part of the network, we can even think about developing specific projects in those areas. So let's say, what about organizing a masterclass in a certain area with all the groups that are staying in different houses and then doing restitution concert all together? So let's say putting light into areas that might be a bit in the outskirts of the cities, etc. However, in the Merita project, we have very specific numbers of houses that must be selected. So there will be a selection made of the houses. So there is a questionnaire that we ask you to fill up with specific data, and on the base of the questionnaire and the requests, we will then narrow it down to a certain number of participants, because we are fitting the project directives. So we have a very specific, let's say, requirements and needs, and on the base of that we will do the selection. So it's a bit different because, of course, the Merita project is a European project, so it has an order. Every house that is part of the network will host a group, a quartet or trio, while in Le Dimore del Quartetto, if you host a group, it's because that group is traveling to your area and they need to organize a residency because they're there for a masterclass, a concert, etc. But it doesn't depend on Le Dimore del Quartetto. We just make the connection. While in Merita, each house that will be part of the project will be hosting at least one ensemble with their trainer to perfect their original project. So it has very specific goal characteristic, and you will also receive the support, the economical support of 2,000 euros, while in Le Dimore del Quartetto is a free exchange of you receive the musician in exchange for a concert, and that's it. So these are the main differences.
And so are both, you said European countries for both, presumably with Merita, because it's an EU thing. Does that exclude Switzerland and the UK? And would the same be said for Le Dimore? Eh?
So Le Dimore del Quartetto is everywhere, not at all a block to a European scale, even within Europe territory, like everywhere, every country is included. In terms of Merita projects, there are different aspects. So for the hosting, it's only the eligible countries, which do exclude, for example, Switzerland is excluded. However, in the restitution concert phase, so there will be, first of all, the training that will be taken in all of the historic houses that will be hosting the trainings and the musicians and the trainers. But once the projects are developed, there will be the performance moment. And so the idea is that some houses could be hosting concerts. So one of the one of the performances of the groups. And these will be made in collaboration with the concert societies, and this could be a little bit everywhere. But I have also one of my colleagues, so there is Chiara Borghese in the call, who is the Merita project coordinator. So if you have anything to add, Chiara, please jump in, because I don't
Sorry,
want to...
I cannot show you the video, but can you hear me?
Yes.
If I can add, yes, the Switzerland, UK are not eligible for the Historic Houses program, but we organize different activities, so we might include them for other kinds of additional activities. And also, we are talking now about Merita Cubed, that is a 4-year project, but we are also working on the future of the platform and looking forward. We might include also these countries for future activities. So we don't want to exclude for anything also interested historic houses from these countries, because we might find different solutions to organize activities also with them.
Especially if you want to host musicians in Switzerland or England. I mean, these are countries that are highly needed and requested by the musicians in the Dimore del Quartetto's network. So if you want to host an exchange of concerts, this is what the Dimore del Quartetto does all year long. So you can start there, and then once Merita will be open to other countries too, it will be a natural
Perfect.
connection. Yeah.
And so to Stéphane and Alexis, how do you deal with parking and kind of facilities and bathrooms and stuff? Obviously, Alexis, you're having more people, but Stéphane, do they? I guess this question is to both of you, but I have separate questions within this. Stéphane, are they using the bathrooms within your house, or when you have an event, are they separate? And then
exactly, we have one separate bathroom on the floor of the concert room, but during a big event as an exhibition, they will use for sure all the bathrooms. So that's also possible. And for the parking place, we have some parking space in front of the house, but the village is most without any cars, so you have to park outside the village and you come by foot to the house.
Okay.
It's 10 minutes, something like that, so it's not so far.
Perfect. Alexis, how do you deal with?
Yeah, well, so since the property was restored with the goal in mind of it being a hotel and or event space, and especially this event hall where we have the concerts, you know, we have public bathrooms there. I mean, it was designed for 300 person capacity, and we have also toilets for that capacity. Being out in the middle of nowhere, we don't really have any problems with parking. There's plenty of space. We have a dedicated parking lot actually across this the street. Our main, like I said, our main logistical challenge is that many more people would like to spend the night there when they make the drive out there than they're able to. And even though, you know, I mean, from Riga, the capital of Latvia, you know, it's really only an hour and 15-minute drive. So, you know, but, you know, there and back 3 hours, and people sometimes are disappointed or might make the decision not to make the trip if they can't stay there. And that's really always been our challenge is the limited capacity of our rooms to the size of the events that we can hold. But...
Brilliant, thank you. There's a question in the main chat, which is, are any places in Poland participating in Merita or Le Dimore del Quartetto? If you know off the top of your head, Bianca.
That is an excellent question, but I can check that. let me see. In Merita, I am not sure. I don't know if Chiara knows, but in Le Dimore del Quartetto, I think we do have maybe one house in Poland.
Bianca, I might jump in
Please
because
do.
yes, in Poland we had a couple of historic houses belonging to our member Domus Polonorum. So we had Somianka Manor, Koszkiew Castle, and then Radziejowice, which is not a part of the our member association, but a very beautiful public historic house. The good news for Poland is actually that for this Merita Cubed edition, we're looking for more houses. So the call was sent, and all the Polish members of the Domus Polonorum should have received it. So we are more than welcome to apply for the next edition.
Brilliant. Thank you. So for Alexis and Stefan, in terms of Stefan, did you say you do 6 a year? Are they equally spaced out through the year, or do you do it far more seasonally? And Alexis, the same question.
Yes, for us it's quite fixed. All the program in February, in summer, and in winter time. This is due because we rent also the house, and we use it also as a holiday house. So the planning is quite difficult to keep all these things together. So we have to have a structure to facilitate it. Before, as we started, we was very enthusiastic, and we had too much events and concert, and that we realized at the end that was too much for us. So now we have this fixed program and fixed dates.
Perfect.
I can understand Stéphane very, very well. When you start a new project that you have a lot of enthusiastic energy, but then as time goes on, then reality sets in, and you have to strike a balance. And that's really what we do. We always have, or we typically have a concert in the summer, but actually most the concerts we then usually focus on are in the off season, because in terms of generating revenues, our biggest season is the summer and the wedding season. So we do always have a week in the summer that we have reserved for non-wedding things, and we can do a concert then. But then we actually are trying to do. This year we're not going to have it because, sort of for practical reasons, as Stefan said, since we're running low on capacity. But then we try to do it usually in December is a good time, or sometime in the winter, so that we're not eating into our primary operations.
Brilliant. And do you find that the deeper into winter or the closer you get to summer, it's easier to sell tickets? Or does the seasonality matter in terms of your break even or advertising or any of that kind of stuff?
The season, it's really about the artist, I think, and we are really looking, if you get a good artist, that can, it doesn't matter when or where it is, it'll sell out quite quickly. It'll advertise itself quite quickly. If you get something a little bit more niche, or not what is a local headlining artist, then okay, trying to wrap it up into some sort of Christmas event is not a bad idea. We've done that in the past, but we really try to focus on artists which will sell themselves.
That makes sense. And Stefan, do you find the same?
So for us, we have the chance that we have always fully booked all the years. So it's mainly with waiting list. But the guests, they are not the same during the winter. The winter, it's more the tourists are doing some ski, and then they want to have a concert at the evening. And the summertime is the most people, they are coming from a little bit far away, coming just for the concert, they go back. So
Great. And how do you, in terms of the way that you both advertise, do you find that like there had to be a lot of advertising at the start and now it kind of goes word of mouth that there's a new one happening or that a new date's been released? How do you find that?
Yes, for us it was we do some advertisement in some platform for music and concert, or also in some magazine. But for sure, it's when I guess it's happy, they will say that to all his friends, and that is the best advertisement for us. That's for sure.
Of course.
Yeah, I could agree there. Word of mouth is definitely the best. And like I said, if you have a good well-known name, it advertises itself. Like I said, we're selling through over the through ticket platforms, so that are selling tickets to events, concerts, theater all over Latvia, and so they'll. If we're in there for that concert, that's already an automatic sales channel, so that's good. And then we have the other emphasis is our social media, because for these events, since our budget is limited, we're really looking at trying to get our bang for the buck, and that's why the social media, our sale or the ticket sellers sales channel plus word of mouth works really well for us, because we haven't got our concerts are really a locally targeted product. We haven't we have always had it in our mind that because I think in terms of facilities, we could definitely it would be attractive for people outside of Latvia, from Scandinavia. We have private clients who come from Scandinavia, but and other parts of Europe. But then it's organizationally that adds a lot more if we were actually trying to sell concerts and stays to people, or concerts outside of Latvia. So right now we're tailoring both the artist and the marketing to the local market.
Perfect. In terms of, I mean, do you think that with the concerts that you do right now, have you grown to capacity, or is there opportunities to grow and do more? Do you both think? I got to Alexis first.
I'll keep it. So we had at one point, we had a couple of years ago, we had hoped to work with a concert event organizer, where we would for set terms provide the space. She would provide do the concert organizing, and then we would split gross sales somehow. This seemed initially the idea seemed good, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out for us, and now we've sort of stayed with being okay, doing these concerts ourselves as something we enjoy to do, and as a bit of marketing. So our challenge has been increasing the number of concerts, but doing it on terms where we're not subsidizing them, and that's been a challenge, honestly.
That makes sense. I understand that. Stéphane?
Yes, for us, I think it has a huge opportunity to grow. It's just the time is for us not possible to organize more of that, but it will be easy to find new guests if you have the time to organize more concerts. So I think the interest is really here. The people like those small familiar concerts. And I think, yes, in this part of Switzerland, you don't have an opera like in Zurich or big concert rooms. So all these people there, they are happy to have this kind of concerts.
Brilliant. So we're getting close to the end, but if anybody has any last questions, do ask. I'm going to ask my last question, which is to all three of you, which is, if you were just starting out thinking about, I have this space, and I might want to use it for concerts. I might need to hire an acoustical engineer, which I actually hadn't come across before this webinar. So that's really exciting that is someone's job. What advice would you give to someone who's starting out, essentially, who's looking at their space, going, "This could be a concert venue." What, yeah, where is their first port of call? Bianca, I'll come to you first. I think I know your answer, but
Do you? Okay. I think that for me, the main advice I would give is to think, what's your mission? What's the mission behind? What moves you towards this direction? Because I think that the most, at least at the core of the Dimore del Quartetto, stands the role of the owners of historic houses that have a mission to share their space and to create value for them and their community. So the concerts can be, we have so many different concerts, and some people only use the restitution concert as a moment to share with their family and friends. So it's just an occasion to live an extraordinary experience with the closest person they have, and then some decide to open their castle to the public and then invite more than 200 people because they can and they have the organization for it. But I think that first of all, everyone needs to find what is their mission, why they want to organize a concert, and then there's so many different ways of doing it. There's so many different types of music that you can host. So maybe choosing what moves you, and then from there, seeing what can be done. Of course, we're here to support you. If you want to have a conversation, I'm more than happy to speak to any of you, because we do that all year long. So very happy to support you in this.
Brilliant. Thank you. Stéphane?
Yes, for my part, I think don't think too much. Try it. I think it has so many musicians that are so thankful to play in different place, different location, and if you do that with your heart, I think the guests, they will be happy. So just try it, and you will improve it after the first concert, surely after all this concert. And I think it's doing by learning, so the best way.
Of course. Alexis?
I would definitely agree with what Bianca said, is understand what your goals and what the mission is. Certainly, it helps us, and we keep doing it because we do concerts that we personally like, and because even if you're outsourcing a lot of aspects, it still always ends up being a lot of work. So you better make sure that you enjoy it. And definitely think about your sales channels, and if you're not centrally located, to think about what the draw is. And certainly we find, because we are an exclusive property, that opening up not only do the guests enjoy the concert, but because we have cultivated this exclusive reputation, then when people see that suddenly it's accessible, then people take advantage of that, and it's an added value for the concert goers, that they get to drive out and experience the Manor House. And lastly, I would say that I actually forgot what I was going to say lastly, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Thank you. Good advice from all three of you. If there are no more questions, I'd just like to thank Bianca, Stéphane, and Alexis for joining us this evening. This is and I'd like to thank European Historic Houses and their office for all their help in organizing and putting together this. I really enjoy doing these webinars every 3 months. I'm really looking forward to 2026. Our next one will be on Tuesday, March 3rd. and it's going to be around garden events and gardens. If you want to follow up with any of the speakers or with the office, please do. But yeah, thank you very much, and enjoy your evening.